Hey everybody, we're doing another one of these developer diaries, and like, have you seen Baz?
I don't know, is he here somewhere?
Whoa! Hey guys!
Hey!
How's it going?
Did you have a good trip?
Yeah, it was awesome, thanks.
Cool.
Great
So we're talking to a camera.
Whoa! Hey guys, how's it going?
I thought that today we could start by just kind of going over, like, what are we doing right now? Baz, what are you working on?
What am I working on? Right now I'm building a whole bunch of factories and freight depots. You might have seen one of them on Twitter recently. I'm making a whole bunch of new trains as well for the later levels and just generally adding stuff to the world.
I'm working on the performance of the game, because there's always the period in the beginning where it's just like prototyping things, and then at some point you're like, okay, now we actually need this to go fast. So I've been like unwrapping models, optimizing shaders, all this kind of fun stuff.
Awesome. Now we have an FPS counter in the top right corner.
Yeah.
Yes, stuff like that. I am working on levels. These guys have basically given me a box of toys to play with, and now we're trying to figure out what works and what doesn't work, and we're putting into the hands of people around us, random strangers on the street, and most of them like, why are you giving me this phone? But a few of them really enjoy the game. So yeah, we're just trying to figure out what we can actually build with the tools that we have now. That's the status right now. So, you guys sent some, it sounds like an you guys sent some questions. We, snail mail.
Snail mail.
Yeah, I'm gonna CGI letters everywhere, like a huge letter coming down right here. So, okay, you guys sent us some letters. You had some questions for us, which was awesome. Keep leaving comments and questions on these videos.
So, want to hear some questions?
Yes, please.
Okay, we have some YouTube questions. Carlos Segui asks, how are you going to advertise it?
Oh, that's a good question.
That is a good question. I'm gonna run around town with a t-shirt on, I think. I'm gonna be one of those guys just with a sign standing in the main street, just conduct this way.
And then a QR code.
Yeah, on here.
Okay, so the serious answer to this is probably, I guess we already are. I mean, this thing here that we're doing here, these behind the scenes videos, some of the tweets and some of the content that we're putting out, that's advertisement. I don't know, we've never really had an advertisement budget. So
Other than like writing on Twitter, like, hey, we made this, and like hoping we can feature it in the App Store.
Yeah, I mean the plan is what it always has been. It's put out great content and basically yell at the top of our lungs digitally to show people this awesome thing that we're building now, and then eventually when we launch, we're gonna yell even louder.
You're trying really hard not to say, if you build it, they will come.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I don't necessarily believe that, and that might not be the case here. We're just gonna make cool content, I think. Yes.
And hope that people will notice.
And hope that people will notice. I think that this is the strategy that a lot of people use, right? We don't have a publisher. We're not going to do any kind of. We're not going to put money into any kind of form of standard advertisement or billboards or whatever, except for the sign that you'll be carrying up and down.
You won't be seeing conduct this on the bus stop.
No, you probably won't. Okay, next question.
Mathieu Boulay. Are the players going to be able to interact with anything else than wagons, like add and move railways, create their own paths, switch track devices, close stations, etc.?
I'm constantly looking at you. You have all the answers.
I have all the answers.
Well, like maybe you have an answer for this.
Right now you're able to like start and stop trains, and you're able to like switch tracks in places, and that's basically the gameplay mechanics we have here. And you can actually do surprisingly lot of levels with just that. Like we have a lot of different kind of levels where the challenges change a lot, even just with those mechanics. And also like we have colored stations. We have to transport the passengers to the right station. That's at least the gameplay we're going with right now, and we might add more later, but that's like the core ideas.
Yep.
That sounds good.
Good answer.
Okay. Micah Kant asks, are you going to put it on Steam?
Don't know.
I think as we're getting further into this is mostly a mobile game. It is the way that the interactions are made, the animations, now the optimization. It is a mobile game, and
it's built for touch.
Yeah, it's built for touch. Yeah,
it's difficult with the mouse, I think, to have the level of control that your fingers can give you.
Yeah,
that's what she said.
But okay, so if we're not closing the door entirely on it,
No.
but it's not right now. It's not envisioned as a desktop type game.
Yeah, we'll have to rethink some things if it needs to work
Yeah.
on desktop.
Yeah, we're gonna try and release it on iOS and maybe on Android.
Probably on Android.
Probably on Android too.
I think that the type of the game, it's casual, right? I mean, you play it just for quite a short time. It's probably not something you're going to sit at your desktop necessarily and want to dedicate hours to.
Yeah.
So it's a nice time waster, time filler, joy giver.
Joy giver.
Joy giver. Giver of joy.
That's a good
We'll go with
choice.
joy giver.
Joy giver.
Give this man the marketing fest.
I'll be waiting a long time to wear the marketing fez.
Yeah.
It's not very safe.
The marketing fest is not very safe.
Joy giver.
Great. Okay. Next question.
Archie Bowmaker says.
Who?
Archie Bowmaker.
Archie Bowmaker.
Archie
That's
Bone
a
Maker?
pretty rap name.
Ooh, bone maker.
Not Bone Maker.
Okay. I came here from the Lopoco's tweets. I'm guessing one of you guys is him. Is that right?
Is it right?
Is it right?
It's me.
Oh!
Yes.
I'm the
right
poker. Thanks for coming.
Lars Mithaka asks, I want boats and drawbridges. That's not a question, but let's go with
It's
it.
more of a demand, like a
Yeah.
Is it demand?
childish demand. Give me boats.
To be fair, we've talked about boats.
We have.
Yeah.
We have
Yes,
talked about
yeah.
boats.
I think boats may be in the world passively. You know, there might be props that are moving around. Probably not something that you're going to interact with necessarily.
We're not sure that there's going to be boats in the game.
No, maybe for decoration.
Well, yeah.
Would be nice.
Yeah.
But we feel you. We want boats too.
Boats are cool.
Boats are awesome.
Trains are cool, boats are cool. Shannon Leonard asks, 1, how long will you develop the game before the release? And 2, are you open to changing the game dramatically depending on suggestions from the community?
It's a really good question. Two good questions.
Two good questions.
Yes. I think, okay, let me try to take this one. So how long will you develop the game before you release? I'd love to quote Blizzard on saying, when it's ready. I think the realistic answer is probably a couple of months. I don't want to tentatively put out any release dates or whatever, but that's the timeline we're looking at right now.
But it's not a multi-year effort.
It's not a no. It is not. We're getting our feet wet in the whole games related to to trains scene, and this is our first adventure. And as with all great adventures, it has to come to an end at some point. So we're going to develop the game a couple of months more, and then hopefully there'll be something cool for you guys to play. So the second question: are you open to changing the game dramatically depending on suggestions from the community? That's a really tough question to answer because yes and no. Yes, because we'll never tire of hearing your ideas, and some of those things could end up in the game in its current stage. We're pretty much constantly rewriting and doing things, so we want to hear those ideas. The reason why I'm saying no is that because of the timeline, a couple of months more of development time, we can't. We're pretty settled on the overall concept, right? We can't. It's not going to change. It's not going to become a desktop type game. We're not going to add a lot of complexity. We're kind of happy with the toys that we have in the box right now. We want to make those toys more fun, put them together in fun scenarios, and maybe we want to add a few more toys, but we can't change out the whole box.
We're changing it to be an MMORPG.
Yeah.
Trains.
First person.
First
Yes.
person.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Wow.
Cool.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That was nice. Very nice.
Good job.
So maybe we'll change it to a first person. No, but in all seriousness, we want to hear your feedback. Don't expect the game to change radically, but just keep sending us silly ideas anyways. It's cool.
So, one last question from Joachim Bondo on Twitter. What are you building it in? Unity? Why? And why not something like SpriteKit? And I guess that's a question for me. We haven't really considered very much else because like Unity is getting to be the de facto game engine for indie developers, and with good reason because like it's really easy to learn, it's really easy to get something off the ground, and it's really easy to use, and it's actually pretty powerful. Like people are building everything from like small casual games to pretty big games now in Unity. there's not really any like specific technical reason we're using Unity. It's mostly the community is really great, community of indie developers, and especially because we're here in Copenhagen where Unity is actually from, and they have their office here. So like if anything goes wrong, we just like walk to them and knock on the door and demand them to fix. And because there's just a lot of Unity developers here, so
Yeah, I want to add so I am notoriously not a developer. I learned using Unity, the basics of it at least, it took me about a week. And I'm making levels and I'm playing around with all the assets, and while that's not actually developing anything, it just kind of speaks volumes about how easy the tool is to learn.
we don't need to actually make a level editor because Unity can be our level editor.
Exactly, yeah.
It parallels what I do in 3D, such as in Blender. It's quite a similar interface to use. So if you come from a 3D background, then to get into Unity is easy to start to piece things together in a simple fashion.
Just wish the key mappings could be the same.
God damn it, I'm gonna kill those guys.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same when you're coming from Photoshop, which is nothing like any of those things. But it's like the key mappings are drastically different.
Yeah.
And it's almost like these people actually got in a room and then decided on
how can we make this as difficult as possible?
Yeah, how can we make it as the highest levels of frustration and that's usually, I've seen other people learn Unity, and that's usually the initial reaction to it. But once you kind of learn the stuff, I'm now in the reverse mode where when I'm using Photoshop, which I use a lot, I'm constantly using Unity short keys, and it's fucking up my layers. And
now you're just bad at both things.
now I'm just bad at both things basically.
I have separate pants. I have my Unity pants and my Blender pants. And when I want to change programs, I actually get up, leave the room,
Both
come back in. It's a different mindset, you know.
Both are brown.
Both are brown. They were white to begin with.
That's cool. That was some questions. If you guys have more questions, which I hope that you do, now that we've kind of gotten the conversation rolling a little bit and you've seen some more footage, leave them in the comments. Leave questions or send them to us on Twitter. We'll have our handles here. I'll put them in there, apparently there. Ask us anything. What are we doing next?
More game.
more game. Ask your questions in the comments below. If you have anything else that you want us to completely pigeonhole and discuss, we'll do that.
And if you have funny names we want to mispronounce.
Yes, exactly. Archie Bowmaker. See you guys next time.
See ya.